Also, we have Richard from South Shields. Hi, Richard.
Hello, Alan.
Hello there.
How's it going?
All right, what you got for me tonight?
What about last week's call, mate?
Yeah, what about it?
What's your opinion now, then?
What's my opinion? It's the same as it was then.
Exactly. The good thing about it is all of these things happen, and all of these things come about, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when they do come about, all of these things get rectified like problems.
Right, okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if I've been a problem, I've been rectified, and I'm sweet as a nut.
Right.
How would you put it?
Okay.
Can you see what I'm saying?
I do, and I presume you'll not be talking about 12-year-olds having sex tonight.
I'm not talking about nothing.
Okay.
Because basically, right, I was very, how would you put it, to the point in which I got out of depth.
Right.
Right, because, I got picked up wrong.
Right. Okay.
And all of those things happened.
Right.
And everything was all rectified by the people that come to see us and that.
Okay.
So, I mean, I'm not bothered. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
And,
okay.
Well, I don't want to talk about that anyway, right?
Okay.
I want to talk about all of these things about life, like, in general.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, all of these things that I've got with me head and that, right? Do you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Now, me head's going through all of these, things. Now, I'm not a worrier or anything, right?
Right.
And I'm, sweet as a nut. I tell the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm all these people's, how would you put it, burden. Right?
Right.
To the point in which they can't do anything about it because, I'm just talking about people in general, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, I'm in a situation now, right, at my age, right, where I'm going through life, and you know, what really brought us to this conversation I'm having with you tonight is God, right? Now, do you know when you're walking through the shadow of death, and you've got no worries or anything to do with anything?
Right.
Why do all of these people go through life, right? And I'm talking about people that do things like mad things, right?
Right.
That get put upon when no one's got nothing to worry about, or all of these things that happen. Do you know what I mean?
I'm not sure that I do. When you're walking through the shadow of death, you say that you've got nothing to worry about. Well, I would have thought death would be what you'd be worrying about if you were in the shadow of it.
No, well, last Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
God picked us up on his back, right? And I was reading this poem about footsteps and that, right? And he says, I'm going to carry you home, right? And wait until next week.
Right.
And then I've waited, right?
Right.
For to speak to me mate, right? Because you're my mate, Alan, right?
Okay.
And as far as I'm concerned, right, all of these things happen.
Right.
So that all of these premonitions and predictions and stuff, right? Because today's date, right?
Right.
Well, it's just the day before St. Patrick's Day, right?
Yes, we just got into that now, yes.
Is it in St. Patrick's Day now, is it?
No, we've just got into the day before. That's right.
Oh, right, so it's the 16th.
Yes.
Of March 2006, right? Now, I mean, if you think about today, right, and you think about all these times previously, and all these times that are going to be in the future,
right,
you can't change history, and you can't change the past, right? Now, why do people worry? Because, you know, I was thinking about this, right, in a psychiatric sort of way.
Right.
You know, if you sit on a bench or a psychiatric chair, one of them leather settees, right?
Right.
And I'm thinking about all these things where people, and some of these things that are spared out that just comes out of my mouth anyway, right? But people pick us up wrong sometimes.
Right, okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is everybody's opinion. I'm not really bothered anyway, because I've got nothing to worry about.
Right, okay.
Right, but all of these things that go through people's lives and minds and stuff, right? It has to be said. Now, night owls, right, has helped me, right, come to terms with all of these things that I've got, because you know when you've got to get all of these things out in the open and talk about stuff.
Yeah.
Right? Which is really good because I never had any outlet to the point in which I couldn't get any of me points of view across.
Right.
Like, because, you know, like television, you're, like, stuck, right? Because, like, you can talk in the television, or people do, and people...
Yeah, but you don't get any direct feedback, is what you're saying.
Well, that's what I mean, Well, we are like night owls, right? You get all that direct feedback, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well...
Sometimes when you want it, and sometimes when you don't.
Well, the direct feedback is... The good thing about it is, it's all of these people that are... they're not, like... well, I found my place anyway, right?
Right.
Well, basically, I think I'm in heaven now, right? To the point in which all of these things are just here. As a test.
Do you not worry about anything, then?
Well, not really, no. Because I haven't got nothing to worry about. I don't tell lies. I don't make things up. I don't...
Mind you, people do think you make things up, Richard, because the kind of conversations that we've had, you bounce from thing to thing to thing to thing to thing, and some of them are obviously... I don't know whether this is just... It might just be your nature, rightly or wrongly, it might be just that, but you give the impression that you're just linking things together for no apparent reason.
Well, basically, right, I'm actually at a point now where I was put on this planet for a purpose, and my purpose is to get all of these things across, right?
Right.
Now, do you know, like information and stuff?
Yeah. Now,
all of this stuff that we think about and what we talk about, right, is just like people, has to get across. Whereas, like, the night owls, everybody's got their own opinions at the end of the day.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to share a Canadian opinion with you. Alan in Canada said, "Can you ask him if David Copperfield was there when God picked him up?" Because if you remember, when you were on talking about David Copperfield, you said, "I saw David Copperfield in a show, and you said it was in the north, and he's never been to the north." So when you say things like "I don't lie,"
right?
Well, when you say "I saw David Copperfield and he told me he's never been here."
All right. Well, no. Well, can I tell you what happened after that? Right.
Go on then.
Do you know the magic circle and that, right? Do you know this thing, right? This David Copperfield and Uri Geller, right? They get this thing to do, right? And they make you put your hand on the television, right? In a hypnotic trance sort of situation.
Yeah, but you said you were in the Theatre Royal. You said the Theatre Royal at first, and then you changed it to something else. But he's never been there.
Oh, well, basically...
so how do you explain that if you don't lie, Richard?
Well, basically, the reason being is because my dimensions, right, astral planes and stuff,
right,
where I'm thinking about stuff, right, it happens, and it must happen in my mind. Like, do you know when you're sitting thinking about a dream?
Yeah.
Or, like, if you're thinking about something that happens, because, like, I was speaking to all of these people afterwards, right, and they turned around and they said that we've had all of these dreams where they've been flying around the house with people like David Copperfield and outside the house. And, like, do you know that Snowman film where he was in the snowman flying around? Well, he turned around. Well, all of these people said, well, it's the same thing, but it must just be like this dream that they've had. So it might not be real, but it might just be like in depth. Do you know what I mean? Because, like, your mind, you don't know what about, like, regression. Right. You don't know about anything like...
So what you're saying, though, is that a lot of the things that you talk about that you believe happened might have just happened in your head.
Well, it's the year 2006, right? But I don't know if it's happened in the future. Like, déjà vu. I try to get with you talking about déjà vu. Like, if déjà vu happens in the future, and then you get brought back to the past, so, like, when you walk down the street, you know you've been there before, but you couldn't have been, right? So, but you must have been, if you've walked down the street and you've got that déjà vu. Now, if I walk down the street in Newcastle, and I've seen David Copperfield flying about, it might have just been a déjà vu. So, like, it was hard to work out, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it is that, Richard. Okay, so where are you taking us tonight, then?
Well, I want to take you on a journey, right?
Go on.
Now, do you know, like, space and that, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you think about the cosmos and the space and the galaxies in the universe, right?
Right.
Now, sometimes I've turned around and I've said that I speak to aliens, right? Because, like, the broadcasting is digital now, zeros and ones, and it goes through airwaves and stuff. And I mean, I'm speaking to you on a mobile phone, right?
Right.
But if you think about all of these things that go through, like, mad space and stuff, like television and that, right?
Yeah.
Somewhere along the line, someone must be bouncing all that stuff back. Now, if they're bouncing all that stuff back to me, right, and I'm picking all this up like a vibration, I might just be, I don't know, you know, but like...
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I can't put my finger on it and nail it to the point in which, like, because some people like you, you could say, oh, well, and you take it as a science, right? Where some people could take it as a belief.
Right.
Or, do you know what I mean? Like an Indian.
Well, it's just that you don't understand it, though, yourself, do you?
Well, an Indian, right, or someone like American, well, Egyptians and stuff, we don't know where they come from or anything.
Is it not Egypt?
What?
Is it not? Do Egyptians not come from Egypt? Is it not just as simple as that?
We don't know how the pyramids got built. We don't know how the Earth got built. So, like, it was...
That's a fair point.
Well, it was the Big Bang, but we don't know. It was like the chicken and the egg theory. What came first? Like, we're just like little children in a speck of dust in the middle of somewhere like a massive place, eh?
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't want to go down that route again, because I must probably turn around and get all the people phoning up and saying, just chop them off or whatever.
Right.
Or, because, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, like, if you think about all of these things that... But it's funny how, in the year 2006, that all of these things, like, come about. Like Halley-Bob, the comet, right? Halley-Bob, the comet, which is all of these things. But, like, how do all of these things, like shooting stars, happen? Right? Now, I'll tell you about this, right? Do you know the stars, how they work, right? Like, the sun rises in the east.
Yes.
And sets in the west.
That's right.
Right? Now, the stars go the same way. Well, the Earth rotates and the stars stay in the same place. But we just go around the sun.
Right.
Is that right? Now, in an anti-clockwise direction or a clockwise direction, we don't actually know, right? Now, on these other things, when I'm sitting thinking about it, we travel at 1,023 miles an hour, right? So, like, it takes 1,023 miles for us to spin 1 hour around, like, so, like, do you know how you've got, like, the shadow and stuff?
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, the Earth spins round, and it spins at 1,023 miles an hour, like, for it to take 24,000 miles round for it to spin for 1 day, right? It's the year 2006. But it's going to have to take another 24,000 miles to go around before it's St. Patrick's Day, right?
Right.
Now, I'm not being funny, but how do all of these things happen? Because, like, who come up with this idea about like stuff? Because it's Newton's law or Einstein's theory or whatever, isn't it?
Right.
Well,
the movement of the orbit thing. It's actually Johann Kepler's law. Kepler's law is the one about objects in orbit, and it applies to artificial satellites as well, because he uses the same law to get satellites to follow the same path so that they can go around the planet and we can get satellite TV or the various things that we get from it.
Well, the reason why I'm interested in stuff like that, right, because do you know the SETI, Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence?
Yes.
Now, all of this stuff it's like, do you know, code worded. Now, we've got, like, all of these things like technology where it's www. And then you put, like, something like a code word on. And you can come up with, like, all of these things, like, on the websites and all of that, right?
Yeah.
Now, how is it, like, what sort of communication is it, like, because we're going through a period of time, right, where, like, we don't know if we can travel forward in the future or we can travel forward in the past. Or if we're going forward in the past, then we're going back into the past, or we're going forward in the future. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's really difficult. It's hard to grasp. Like theory, right, and stuff like putting it down in the words.
Right.
Like, So it all just goes wrong in my mind, right? Well, sometimes when I speak to you, it's all right speaking to you because, like, when I speak to you, all of these people, they turn around and says I'm like a hypnotist, and I drop them all off to sleep. You know what I mean? Because, like, I just spoke them all to sleep, and I don't want to because, like, it's only 14 minutes past 12, right?
It is.
And you've got until 2 o'clock.
Yeah. So don't send.
Do you know what I mean?
Don't send too many down, Richard. For me.
Well, basically, all of these good calls what I'm trying to make, right?
Right.
Well, last week's call was really good. I had a really nice visit off Wednesday morning.
I can imagine.
Or afternoon. Yeah. It was canny like. But
we were getting phone calls from them before they called up. Before we reciprocated. So it was obviously it roused a lot of people's attention.
Opinions.
Yeah.
Well, the good thing about it is, you see, I come out on stage because, do you know God? He carried us around. And he says, "Yeah, you've got nothing to worry mate, about me." You know what I mean? And he carries you. You've got to trust people. Do you know what I mean? You've got all of these people like you can trust.
Yeah.
And that's what they're there for.
The fact of the matter was, though, Richard, and I know I heard what you said about you got picked up wrong and this, that, and the other. It's just that if you go off on one, because you know you do, if you go off on one and people read what you've said as saying, I'm a paedophile, I like this kind of thing, and me and my friend, and you said something along the lines of, the people that I talk to about 12-year-olds having sex, they say, that sounds like a paedophile ring. And the amount of emails I got suggesting exactly the same thing, and some of them rang the police, it was already kicking before you and I finished talking.
Oh, well, the police came and sorted us out and says that they had nothing to worry about.
Right, okay.
Come and checked everything out and that, and says that everything's sweet as a nut.
Right, okay.
You've got no problems whatsoever.
Good, I'm glad that's the case then.
Oh, well, it is, because, like, well, Alan, honest to God, I'm actually glad it happened because, do you know, like, some people, until you get, like, physical or mental proof to the point in which somebody turns around and says something like, that's what you've got, or you've done nothing wrong. And the reason being is because you've never broken the law or anything.
Right, okay. And what you said, what you actually said on the night was, I don't care who comes to have a look because I got nothing. And
I've got nothing to hide.
Subsequently, if that's how it's been seen through, that's a result then. That's a good result.
Oh, it's a spot-on result. Right. Well, the good thing about it is, if you've got nothing to hide, right, because, like, you know, I've always been truthful. I said my name and all that, right? And I never come on as anonymous.
No, I know that.
Or...
I know that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm just glad. Like, I'm glad that it's sorted. And Richard, do you know, for possibly one of the first times, and I can't remember how long, it looks like you and I are going to actually finish a phone call by saying good night instead of just going click.
All right. Well, all right then. Well, it's 17 minutes past 12, right?
Yes.
Can I say good night to you? And good night to the Night Owl girls, and good night to everybody. But I'll be listening until 2 o'clock.
Good man.
I'm trying to win these prizes. I've never won nothing, you know. I've never tried. Well, I've tried loads of times, and I get these 4 questions right all the time.
Right.
But I never.
You haven't won yet.
Be dialed back or anything.
Right. Okay. Well,
I'll try my hardest.
Fingers crossed for you tonight, Richard.
I'll keep them crossed. Okay. Well, you see, I've got this genie, right? I'm going to win the prize tonight.
Here we go. Richard, thanks for calling. Quit while you're ahead. 01914 88.